Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the countdown of the best players to wear jerseys 30 through 1 in NFL history. I'm Mike. I host a podcast called Sports and the Real Shit. If you're new here, today we're at number 9. And there's a great one in number 9. You can probably guess who that is. But there's some other really good quarterbacks in number 9 that you probably don't remember. So let me remind you. Let's go. So I'm going to start here, like I said. I did this with number 13. Other numbers as well, where there was number 16. There was like really no point of going into, trying to be suspenseful about who the best. Nah, man. The best player to wear number 9 in NFL history is Drew Brees. He didn't start off that way. In San Diego, first couple years, he was kind of mediocre. Nobody knew Drew Brees was going to turn into what he became. My goodness, and did he become something? Drew played 20 years in the league. Like I said, started in San Diego, really played 19, and then went to the Saints and just took off with Sean Payton. His stats are ridiculous, and I thought I'd just waste your time here. I'm just playing. I'll just call out just a few of the highlights. But it's a lot of highlights. 80,358 yards for his career, 571 touchdowns, 243 picks. 13-time Pro Bowler, one-time All-Pro, one-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl 34, two-time Offensive Player of the Year, 2004 Comeback Player of the Year. My Dolphins passed up on Drew for Dante Culpepper, but I'm not going to get into that. All right? I'm not going to get into that because that hurts. 5-time most completions in the league. 4 times most attempts. 6 times led in completion percentage. 5 times he was 70% or greater in accuracy. And he wasn't just dinking and dunking. 7 times the most yards, led the league in yards. 5 times he had 5,000 yards. 7 times he threw for 4,000 yards. 4 times he led the league in touchdown passes. 2 times he had 40 or more touchdown passes. 8 times he had 30 or more touchdown passes. Between 2006 and 2017, the man Drew Brees never threw for less than 4,000 yards in a season. My goodness. So let's go through them. 06, 44-18, 26 touchdowns. Not bad. 07, 44-23, 28 touchdowns. 09, 43-88, 34 touchdowns. 2010, 46-20, 33 touchdowns. 2011, 54-76, okay, 46 touchdowns. 2012, 51-77, 39 touchdowns. 2013, 51-62, 39 touchdowns. 2014, 49-52, 33 touchdowns, slacker. 2015, 48-70, 37 touchdowns. 2016, 42-08, 37 touchdowns. 2017, 43-34, 23 touchdowns. That is one hell of a run. And you can put that up against anybody all time. I've said this before, and I'll say it again if you're new here. Dan Marino's my GOAT, all right? He played in a different era. He put up numbers in a different era. He's my GOAT. But damn it, Drew Brees, that brother put on some nasty stats. And a lot of times he was carrying his team because their defense wasn't that good. So they had to throw the ball. They had to score a lot of points. And despite saying all that, I feel like Drew Brees' career was underrated. He's overshadowed by the likes of Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. He wasn't as flashy, right? People didn't see him as top of the top for whatever reason. He never won a regular season MVP, by the way, which is crazy. But Drew, to me, you could put him up there with anybody, man. He wasn't the greatest arm strength. He wasn't throwing the ball 70 yards downfield on a line, right? He wasn't doing that like Josh Allen is today, like Aaron Rodgers or something like that. He just threw with anticipation, with accuracy. He knew what his capabilities were, and he delivered. He worked with what he had within the system, and he balled out, man. 36 career comebacks, 53 career game-winning drives. There's probably a lot more I can say about Drew Brees, man, but I'll say this. He was a baller. He was tough. Got hit, got back up for the most part. Longevity was there. His play never really dipped until the very end. Shout out to Drew, man. It was a joy watching this cat. He was just a master. Like, you knew he was going to throw the ball. Sometimes you knew his target, right? Jimmy Graham, Marquise Colston, these boys. And somehow he delivered anyway. That streak right there from 06 to 17, that is one of the nastiest streaks you'll find on anybody's stat sheet. He'll go up toe-to-toe against anybody for those years. My goodness. Shout out to Drew Brees. The best number 9, no doubt. Like I said, no suspense here. The best number 9 ever in NFL history. Having said that, though, there's been some really good other guys that were number 9, all right? That were number 9. So we ain't going to stop there, y'all. So let's keep going. Steve McNair, one of the original number 9s, if you remember Steve McNair back in the day, dual threat out of Alcorn State, Air McNair. Played for the Houston, Tennessee franchise, Oilers, and then Titans. 13 years total, and then Baltimore. He flip-flopped and went to the rival. My goodness. Really only played 10 years. Steve McNair, 31,304 yards passing, 174 touchdowns, 119 INTs, 37 rushing TDs. He played in an era where, it was mostly ground and pound, so he don't have a lot of great passing stats anyway. But he does have, 37 rushing TDs, which speaks to the fact that he was a dual threat, especially back in those days. 3-time Pro Bowler, 2003 MVP. And that year he had 3,215 yards. That was his best year. 24 touchdowns, 7 picks, 8 yards per average, 12 yards per completion, and led the league with a 100.4 rating that year. 15 career comebacks, 21 game-winning drives. For those who remember watching Steve McNair, he didn't put up a bunch of stats. He wasn't Brett Favre or anything like that. But the man was just a baller, right? When the situation called for it, he was a baller. He led those Titans teams to a Super Bowl appearance, got close to beating the greatest show on turf. Like I said, not putting up great stats, but he had a cannon of an arm. He could run through you, around you. One of the original dual threat guys. Straight baller, no doubt about it. Steve McNair, one of the really, really great number 9s ever in league history. We'll keep moving here. Tony Romo, a lot of people remember Tony Romo for his playoff failures, and you can't discount that, right, from the drop, snap, and all that, right? He didn't produce in the playoffs. But Romo was a baller, man. Came out of nowhere, sat on the bench for a while. Bill Parcells, brought him in. Nobody knew who the hell he was, but turned out to be a pretty solid pro, really good career. To some, he's probably overrated, right, because he played for the Cowboys, and they talked about him all the time like people do Dak now, even when he didn't deserve it. But, he played, and he played well. 34,183 career yards, 248 touchdowns, 117 INTs, 4-time Pro Bowler. 4 times he passed for 4K, 3 times he passed for 3K. And highest in yards was in 2012 when he threw for 49.03. In 2014, his highest touchdown mark was at 34. Finished third in MVP voting that year. 24 career comebacks, 29 game-winning drives. Tough cat, took hits, kept coming back with a smile on his face. Just a baller, man. Again, stats aren't gaudy, but if Tony Romo played in this kind of era where dudes could just throw all over the field, he would put up some numbers because he was a gunslinger and he would let that thing fly, no doubt about it. But shout out to Tony Romo, one of the best number 9s ever in league history. Carson Palmer was another guy who was a baller. Strong arm, came out of USC, could throw that thing all over the yard. Remember him throwing to Chad, Ocho Cinco Johnson, TJ Houshmandzadeh and those boys. Had some prolific years. 14 years combined with Cincinnati, Oakland, and Arizona. 46,247 total yards, 294 touchdowns, 187 picks. 3-time Pro Bowler. His best years were in 05. He had 3,836 yards, 32 touchdowns, which led the league, and 12 picks. In 06, he had 4,035 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 13 picks. And then in 2015, right, when he went to Arizona, He threw for 4,671 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 11 picks. He had 6 times he had 4,000 yards passing in a season, but his downfall, because he was also a gunslinger and took chances, is that he threw 20 picks 3 times in his career. 22 comebacks, 35 game-winning drives. But Carson Palmer was a stud, no doubt about it. Like, I know he didn't win a Super Bowl, but not everybody does. Carson Palmer was a baller, no doubt about it. He had his injury in the playoffs. Guy landed into his knee as he's throwing a deep pass. Like, I remember that pass vividly. Messed up a season, right? Pretty much at that point. But shout out to Carson Palmer. Great career anyway. Overcoming those Cincinnati curses to actually make the playoffs. That's significant. Matt Stafford, current guy wearing number 9. Matt Stafford's played 14 years so far between Detroit and the Rams. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams a couple years ago. 52,082 yards passing for his career. 333 yards, 169 picks. One-time Pro Bowler, which is crazy. One-time Super Bowl champ, like I said. 2011 Comeback Player of the Year. 34 career comebacks. 42 game-winning drives. He's had 8 4,000-yard seasons. 1 5,000-yard season. 2021, the year they won a Super Bowl, he threw for 4,886 yards, 41 touchdowns, had 17 picks. And he was snubbed for the Pro Bowl that year. No problem. Just go ahead and win the Super Bowl. And he did. Matt Stafford's another tough cat, man. He takes hits, gets back up. I remember, he had a rib injury or something like that, leading a fourth quarter comeback, last second drive or whatever. Matt Stafford has one of the strongest arms ever. He's a baller, right? He's not afraid of the moment. The only thing my knock against him is that he does throw picks. And I thought he would do more with his team, having had Calvin Johnson on his team, but it was Detroit. Who knows what's going on over there. But anyway, Matt Stafford out of UGA, number 1 draft pick when he got drafted. I think he's lived up to the hype. Others may expect more, but that's because some people expect you to win no matter who's on your team, no matter who's coaching you, and so on and so forth. I don't know, man. I give the guy some grace. I think he's a baller. Despite his career record, I like Matt Stafford. Great number 9. But another number 9 that's playing currently, who's in position to really move up the charts. I don't know if he's going to catch Drew. Is another Cincinnati Bengal, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. He's going to climb up the list, okay? He's going to get up there. And especially in this era, Joe Burrow is going to throw for some yards, man. He's going to put up some nasty stats. And by the end of it all, if he's able to last and play it long, as Drew did, he might challenge Drew for some of those stats, man, because he's playing with some stud receivers. Ooh-wee. I mean, this cat's going to put up some 4K and 5K seasons consecutively. No doubt about it. 4 years so far, already has 11,174 yards, 82 touchdowns, 31 picks. He's so cool under pressure, man. That's what I like about this kid. Like, he doesn't seem phased. Some guys that just look like, they're all over the place, scatterbrained. Like, he doesn't seem phased at all. He just goes out there and plays, win, lose, or draw. Confident. 2021 Comeback Player of the Year after he, messed up his knee or whatever in his rookie season. One-time Pro Bowler in 2021. He had 4,611 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 14 picks. 2022, 4,475 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks. 9 times he's had 300 yards and 3 TDs in a game. Are you serious? 5 career comebacks, 7 game-winning drives. Again, short resume, but I'm telling you, man, Drew Brees has nasty stats, as I just told y'all. But Joe Burrow is going to be, ooh-wee, 10, 15 years, especially in this environment where they're protecting the quarterbacks more and more, he's going to be looking amazing, all right, by the time it's all said and done. If he stays healthy and stays upright, Joe Burrow is going to be way up there as one of the very best dudes to have worn number 9 in league history. But shout out to the young baller, man, young stud. But for now, my guy, Drew Brees. The Dolphins should have took the chance on you, but that's revisionist history. I won't fault them. Maybe I will. Should have done a better homework. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Drew Brees, best number 9 ever in league history. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all watching once again. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, check out all the other ones in the podcast as well. But I'm going to catch you guys next time after we get down to number 8. Mike, Sports on the Rush. Peace.